Tuko good sound. Yeah, booyaka. It's the Gatekeepers Musically Speaking Podcast, gkmsp, Season 2, Episode 6, premiering every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Verbal Vayne in the vicinity, Marry in a moment, and Shaman in a sector. If you're new to this channel, do a drive-by shootout on that subscribe button. You can't miss it. Clicking at the bell for notifications. Check out our previous podcast to comment and join the conversation. GKMSP, brought to you by emcee.
Yeah.
As usual. Yeah, if you're looking for some good music management, emcee, entire Africa.
Yeah.
Check out the soundboard from Shaman.
You need to say that properly, but now.
Soundboard. I'm a soundbite. Soundbite from Shaman. Yeah, what did we do musically this week, brethren?
Marry. The girl gets to go first. And I don't get this centrally. This guy's got Rasta on his head. Anyway, where's some of for the week?
Leave my rastas alone.
No vocal coaching. But just in case anyone is interested, it's 1,500 an hour. And I mean, that's how much this guy has been talking about it.
Yeah, and the classes will only go for like 2 months or so. So about 2 classes a week. So yeah, there you have it. Musically speaking, I think my week has been chilled out. Not much going on. Yeah, just a bit of social media, interacting with people, sharing some of my past experiences. Like I was sharing, I shared a photo from one gig we had with. Was courtesy of PPMC and made in Kibera. Was at the Mastermade Studios. Yeah, for the Together at Home concert series. So yeah, I think that's just about my week.
Now I think it's my turn. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, there's a guy coming up called Rapper Man. Very interesting guy.
Yeah.
So we went on a tour with him. Not really tour, not a musical tour, but just walking around, he was showing me his hood and whatnot. And then we went to Ongem. Ongem kuna vijana wanaitwa Munyota. We tried to do some show called Westlife TV or Westside TV, something, I don't know. Something like that. Yeah, and then I realized that ukitegemea wase kuna wasana kuja kushoot. Equipment zikakuwa held up and then simu zikaisha moto. So unajua tu stories za wasanii. Wasanii ni wazi. So it never happened. We were trying to do like a video coverage of kids dancing and kids talking about where they're from and what they're doing. Yeah, so it backfired on us and we didn't get to achieve the same. So that's what I've been doing this previous week. And maybe Juke can fill us in. I'm not pregnant with that question.
No, was it like it sounds like was it a TV episode or
it was a trial and error. We were trying to come up with some sort of content to see what we can do, but it should be like a TV episode or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
For the YouTube, for the tube, basically for the tube.
This week we're just still planning on that animation, that kids animation we were planning about. I'm still sticking on this nice name. It's called Mountain City. I like the name.
Mountain City.
Yeah. Mountain City.
That's a cool name.
So yeah, it's about the whole concept. If it's an educational program, it should look like theme park based in a kaka theme park. So imagine a mountain with roller coasters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the concept. And then also a lot of these adverts, infographics, kibao sana. Yeah, but musically for the rap group, at least the rap group, Wild Animals. Yeah. Well,
how is that coming? It's been like 4 episodes deep.
Kesho we start recording at 8:30 a.m. blood.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you figured out the whole connection thing.
Yeah. At least now things.
What was the problem?
The issue was there were some MCs who did not want to engage the crew. Yeah. But after losing a battle over,
Oh, you were in the is it the hip hop garage previous?
Yeah, but
battle?
that one I will not say much. I'll just say
Okay.
that it's like the way you want to sign a player into your football team, and then they take time, and then they take time, they lenga, and then when the window is about to close, they're like, I want in. You're like, ingia raka. Yeah? So yeah, at least now Wild Animals we are 3. Yeah, at least we've got a dope ass female MC, so we'll tell you about it when we start recording.
Nice. Looking forward to hearing that.
I've been looking for a female MC, not to court.
Hawapatikani.
There's none that's very serious. Why you're laughing? Because it's serious.
But
bro.
it's true.
Very serious.
Yeah.
I'm a day when I come studio.
Yeah.
Kidogo eti, oh, Shaman, you're bad. Ataki kufanya kitu kingine, anasema nataka kureplace huyo demo anasema Shaman, you're bad. I want to be the one to say it. You're like, no. That's done. We need to do something else. And my tag, leave it alone. We need to get you singing, you know? Just, I have a sore throat. Let's do what a time by next time.
I think you probably need to differentiate between artists and groupies. Because
hold on. What do you know about groupies, bro?
Shots fired.
What do you know about groupies, man?
I think it's something I've experienced, and I think a lot of artists need to. Like from what you're describing, you remember this time we had a studio here in Tao, DigiLive. Yeah. So at times you go to studio, and because we had signed a recording deal with them, so you'd go to studio and you find a lot of people there, a lot of guys, a lot of chicks, even some big names in the industry used to come there. Now, there was also a lot of chicks who would come just to hang out with the next big star, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So they'll come spot like who's hot, who's like going to be,
who's not.
Yeah. Then they want to hang out, and they'll come in the guise of an artist. I don't know. Am I revealing too much about the industry?
Nah, that's what
pretty much.
Yeah.
Those are how the groupies, eh?
But yeah, that's how. If you're new in the industry, a lot of guys won't understand what's going on.
But Mari, I'm not new, and I don't seem to understand.
I don't know how you don't know this, how you don't understand this. Maybe you've just been interacting with them, but you never put a label on it.
I think we need to let Juke go on these things, because me and you and groupies will never agree. No. Why are you telling me about groupies? What do you mean? Wait.
Yo, it's a reality. It's a reality in the industry.
But anyway, come on, if MC, now you're serious about music. Yeah, Shaman Wagwan, Hala.
Yeah. Because there's some crazy vocalists Shaman was supporting back in them days. Yeah, they had talent. It's just that their money wasn't right. Hakutaka kulipa, so they had to be cut off. And when you see like the level of quality and they're producing now, eco down sana. They would have risen to elevated heights. Right now, even we wouldn't be talking about trying to look for a FMC or a vocalist, but
there would be a phone call away.
This is business. Get your money right. You're a FMC, you're a female vocalist. This is the place to do business. Mutacheki vile rapa manataenda.
Yeah. And I think Pia a lot of we need more female MCs in the game, because there are not too many serious FMCs. That's what they call the right term, right? Mm-hmm. There are not too many FMCs in the game. So big up to all FMCs out there. If you want to join the game, you're most welcome. Get in, put in the work.
Yeah. Hala illness. Very ill. Tasha, those are my favorite.
Which ones of these you never introduced me to?
Inesa ujui msanii akakam. That's one, the huyo sasa.
Where is she though? Where is she?
She's still around doing a lot of charity work, helping, she's doing a lot of ikusaidia women, young women in the ghettos. Yeah, because how heroin nowadays has become a mannerless thing.
Yeah.
You have a woman who's 24 years anaitwa ati Whitney Wambui, sijui anaishi kwenye ghetto. She's 24 years, she's been addicted to heroin for 4 years, taking methadone. It almost sounds like a UK addict.
That's happening in Kenya.
Yeah, blood. Ilikuwa documentary, ilikuwa when jana kwa Tuzo ama one of those NTV things.
What?
So yeah.
Wow.
And Ness is trying to help, those chicks, you don't have to be young to do all that nasty stuff. Uplift yourself.
Now that we find ourselves on the drug shit, can we talk about this thing called marijuana and music? The stigma that it comes with, people think every msanii anavuta bangi ama anadunga madawa fulani matap ama unafanya kuber. I don't know. Why is it like that? Because Duke, you're a self-proclaimed.
Yeah, the thing is hard drugs. Heroin maze hapo ukichukua you're just finished. Hata unakumbuka?
Ile time umekuwa
Yes. Heroin you're gone. Crack,
I hear
you're
like
gone.
if you have just one time you get addicted, like you just try it one time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, man.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I think you were talking about the stereotype with wasanii and drugs. I think it's because maybe artists, when artists are trying to reflect what happens in the society, a lot of music videos from back in the day have been encouraging or showcasing the use of these products, and probably no other platform shows the usage or seems to propel or talk about the usage of these substances. So if you think about it, like, where else do you see maybe guys smoking or just being in that without any sort of repercussions?
That's a story for another episode. Because the main card today is something to do with, I think maybe the gist of what I got it is it music in a capitalist society and music in another type of society?
I could not have said it any better.
Yes. Kindly expound.
Well. Now we're talking about deception in the public and showbiz in terms of music. Because all we're doing here is talking about music. We don't want to go political because we know. You don't want to. You can't shit while you eat.
We've already had run-ins with
serikali. Serikali itaki mchezo. Hii BBI tunasukuma my friend. Hata mimi sitaki reggae stop BBI. Reggae is it the other way around? Which one is it?
No, nobody can stop reggae.
So BBI ni reggae. I don't know.
I don't even know.
So, we're talking about the deception that comes with showbiz and how people look at the lifestyle and they think that is reality. We need to have disparity between reality and what is showbiz. Because at the end of the day, we're all looking for content. No.
Yeah.
So if for example, I've seen Diamond nowadays is tilting so much into the feminine side. I understand his fan base is mostly feminine, but yo, why you gotta look like you're so feminine, you're so loose. He's signed people. It's like they're almost promoting homosexuality to some level, and that in itself. Okay. If you are living, for example, in a society where it's capitalism, now it becomes destructive capitalism, and then you have communism. Kama Tanzania ni ujamaa, you know.
Tanzania, it's
Yeah,
very
Tanzania ni
communism.
Oh yeah,
socialism.
yeah.
So-
From Mwalimu Nyerere's times and stuff. Yeah.
When you mentioned Mwalimu Nyerere, they were boys with Jomo Kenyatta, and there's some funny business I heard they did some time back. But that's a story for another day. Anyway,
Okay.
now we were talking
Yeah.
about the whole setup and structures and how we should be able to look at it and understand the aspect of showbiz in terms of from stemming from the aspect of the government policies. So for example, in Kenya, we are predominantly socialists, capitalists, not socialists.
Yeah, true.
So you find that even the democracy we practice, for example, ukiwa na shida MCSK, what do they tell you? Come to the AGM, you vote. This is what you voted for, right? And you can't remember attending any AGM.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then those laws, bylaws they've passed are affecting you directly.
Yeah.
All right. So the people that you put there, that is the kind of thing we're talking about. So that even the communication authority, for example, when they're rating the films, they're telling you this is suitable for 13-year-olds, this is suitable for blah blah blah. You know, the music videos, when they're censoring the music videos, to what extent should people be allowed to use, like, this video has been banned? You know, is that like defamation to the authority? What is that? Because I understand it's showbiz, you know. You call bluffs here, there, you say something. I don't know what you guys think. I have introduced the point. Maybe Mari, you can dig into it.
I think it's an interesting topic to discuss, because I think a lot of the I don't know whether to call it propaganda that music videos push. Let me just first maybe put this out there bluntly. A lot of the propaganda that music videos push are dependent on where their financing comes from.
You know, like, it's in a capitalist society, it's the elites who push the agenda of the musicians. Like, if you're signed to a big label, there's something they would like you to say, you know, mention a certain brand, you know, mention, you know, the pursuit for money, mention the pursuit for women, bitches, them 20-inch rims and all that, you know?
And you see, like a lot of the times, even the creative direction that is taken, let's say, in music videos, is not fully influenced by the artist. There's normally several parties involved, and the parties involved have to have their interests at hand, which need to be shown. And as you mentioned, like, for example, with the big labels, you'll find that there's a lot of the creative direction, the scripting, the branding of the artist is all controlled by the company or the let me just say the company.
Yes.
So in that regard, then the music videos will push the agendas of the companies, and you'll find, like, okay, for example, maybe it's also good to mention this. For example, you see someone holding or dressed in a certain regalia or certain dress, certain label, let's say, like Nike or something.
Yes.
A lot of the times, if we're talking about an established artist, it will be Nike having their product placed in that video. So even meaning that they'll be most likely financing an aspect of that video. And even that alone is enough to influence what kind of content is portrayed in the music video.
True.
So I think in terms of the looking at the agendas which are pushed in our music videos, people need to understand not everything is per se what the artist wants to put out. It is more a matter of who is invested in that music video or in that brand, and what they want to push. And as we've been talking about this, I think that's what part of the business angle maybe that artists also need to understand to the industry.
So I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of something called crisis capitalism. The terms where a disaster is kind of engineered in order to make profit from it.
Oh.
And also we have a situation called runaway capitalism, which I think that's the situation in Kenya. Because in a way, runaway capitalism tends to, it's a runaway kind of process in which a huge majority of the citizens are left out of the national basket, so to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's something Duke you've said,
Yeah.
in terms of the first one. What was the first
Crisis
one?
capitalism.
Crisis capitalism.
Yeah.
There's something I want people to just entertain in their thoughts. There's something called crisis actors, where people are paid to stage events. Like George Floyd. When this guy said he couldn't breathe and whatnot, and then Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. So,
okay,
what if I said that was staged?
Don't use George. Dude, don't use George.
I'm being serious. I'm being serious.
Let me tell you.
Because
use oil. Use maybe oil breaking out somewhere in the ocean.
Don't be too afraid, because it's either black or white.
Yeah.
It could be if same time George Floyd died. Someone died in Spain. Someone died in France. Did you know that? Same way.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
And here also it's the
What?
intensity of how much the media wants to spread something. Like look at, it's obviously Black Lives Matter. A lot of money came from Soros, so it's all over the place.
Yeah. But you see, now we are living in a very interesting time that this information is readily available. Kitambo, sidhani kama ungepata vitu kama hizi kwa book, kwa magazine or something.
Yeah.
It would come out like a novel or something. And no one will be interested to read.
fictitious novel.
Yeah. And then the magazines will take like a year before they get to Kenya, so the information is stale. Now it's real time, man. Like, George Soros finds Black Lives Matter and it has nothing to do with the Black lives. There's no place where they've actually gone and made actual change to the Black lives.
True that.
See? And then now, funny thing, Juke.
Yeah.
Okay, you seem to be on the other side when it comes to this kind of offenses.
No. Maybe you're not picking the how you say the appropriate crisis situation.
Okay. I terrified one of my very close relatives with these kind of things. So I said Titanic was no accident. She was like, no way. No way. So I said, okay. You don't believe me? Follow the money, right? When Titanic crashed, 3 of the world's most influential and richest people died in it.
Who are those?
Oh, yeah.
Kindly.
I can't spoon feed you. This is a place where you begin. Yeah. So we go on. These are things I was just throwing them out there.
You're leaving breadcrumbs.
Yes. This is.
Oh man, that is interesting
It's
and very controversial.
It's just prepositions. I didn't say it's true. I'm just saying, what if?
Okay.
What if such events were staged? 9/11. What if?
Everybody knows about 9/11. 9/11 is just is clear as daylight.
Okay, now that we're in agreement to that point.
Yes.
So you said crisis capitalism.
Yeah.
So what happens is they create a crisis, create a pandemic, spread fear completely, and terrify people so that they can introduce a solution, which most of the time is not to benefit you.
Takes away freedoms.
But fucks you up.
Takes away a lot of
benefits the other guy. So my question is this. What are you going to do? Are you going to pretend that you didn't hear these things?
My suggestion is maybe go to the wilderness or places like Slab City where there are completely no rules, where people live like Mad Max.
Wait, at Slab City, where is that? Is that a real place?
Some weird military abandoned outpost in US, but people just go and live there however. But now let's talk about World
What?
Health Organization,
Yeah.
Wuhan Society,
Wow.
CDC, and forced vaccination.
Oh.
So
I think this is where you come straight and pinpoint which side of the fence you are.
Yeah.
Because
so me, my issue
Yeah.
is World Health Organization.
Ah.
Apparently, China are the ones who are funding this part of the UN big time. They are funding it big time. If World Health Organization have something to say, they have to sit down with the communist government of China. They are the ones who are funding them big time. And you know that Ethiopian, is it the Ethiopian guy who...
Yeah.
Who's, yes.
The one who's in charge
yes,
now.
Yes, the one who's in charge has allegations of atrocities. You guys can also check them out.
Now, Jujuk, you were telling me
Yes,
to name
yes.
those other guys.
Yeah.
Now, how would it feel if I told you to name the atrocities?
Yeah.
Name the atrocities.
There was something about, it was something, I think it was something to do with the coup. Apart from the one for disease, there was something to do with the coup. So, you know, there's a military unit in Ethiopia that does like the super killing.
Yeah. I've heard. Though they
Yeah.
seem to be trying to keep it really silent.
Yeah.
Because I haven't. It's not been too much publicized in the public.
Now,
media.
sometimes I
Yeah.
ask myself, these guys who are given these jobs, they're not actually being given these jobs because, you know, they have done, you know, good for the community, or they have this, you know, these amazing awards. It's kind of like deal. If I put you in this office, will you push this agenda?
It's not
Yeah.
will you.
Yes.
I'm putting you here because I've seen what you can do. You know?
Yes.
We like the job you have done in Ethiopia.
Yes.
Those 3 cholera outbreaks, you managed them very well. Job well done, Bwana. Come here and here at WHO. You know those things. Apparently, people vote for the guy to sit on that seat, and he won. You know.
And then now we have also
Yeah.
this guy is called CDC.
Yeah.
Center
Yeah.
for Disease Control.
Yeah.
Now, you know, such a name is very funny because if me, I'm in an organization called Center for Disease Control, this is the manipulation of diseases. And right now, we are very aware that there are some synthetic diseases, man-made diseases, diseases that are made in the lab.
Name 3.
We know COVID-19 was a result of
Preach, brother. Preach.
influenza,
Preach.
and there were some 2 others. I'm not really sure. Yes.
Yo,
But now the issue is, let's not even talk about what CDC are doing. Let's look at like accounting on what CDC are performing. These guys are not performing very well. There are cases of a lot of corruption here and there.
Yeah, misinformation.
A lot of patent. People are going to patent a virus. You patent a disease.
Yeah.
So it's owned and it can be made money out of.
Clarification, this is where I come in and work for Wakili Junior. Patenting means taking exclusive ownership of something created and not naturally occurring. If my memory serves me right.
Yes.
Okay. So just to clarify, you're implying that it is possible to patent a
It has
virus.
been happening for the past decade.
Yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's possible.
There are so many versions of the COVID that have tried, that have failed. Other versions of some other influencers that have failed, that have tried, but they're still being patented. This is something. It's like common knowledge.
Okay. I'm not trying to.
Ukiangalia.
Now here's
Do
the
your
thing:
research
is
properly.
what we're saying here is okay. For example, when COVID came out, there was this book that had been written, or novel that had been written, like, is it in the 80s?
Yeah.
Which seemed to be describing even the symptoms outright, like just like COVID.
Yeah.
It sounded like copyright COVID.
Yeah.
And for it to have been published, that was at one point it was trending, and I'm sure a lot of guys had that kind of information, came across that. Now my question is, I'm not trying to disagree with anything you guys are saying.
Yes.
But is what we are saying here verifiable?
Oh yeah.
Because I think it's also good for maybe even for our listeners
I
to.
would like guys to search for patented diseases, because synthetic diseases are very easy to do. People have been doing them for years.
Patented diseases is too wide as such. Let's take it down. Go look for COVID-19 patent number in Europe.
Okay.
Specific. Let's get that specific.
Yeah.
I know, of course, Google will take you there. You can change search engines. Of course, I don't have control of them, so I can't change them. There's Yandex, try Yahoo,
Bing,
DuckDuckGo. Try those things. Try some of those things, and then all these things we're saying here. We're not saying that the Bible truth. Again, the idea of this whole podcast is to just start an idea.
Is to open your mind like 9/11.
Yeah.
You all know what happened.
Yeah.
But now here, the connection. Let us see about the Center for Disease Control and the Wuhan Society.
Yeah.
The Wuhan Society.
Yeah.
So these two are clearly had something to do with the outbreak, or mismanagement. I would like to call it dire
maybe,
mismanagement.
I'm still curious. You guys have said a lot, a lot here, you know, and I'm curious.
Yes.
For example, why, or not even for example, just why would someone want to patent a virus or a disease?
Okay.
How?
Let me.
Haven't we just talked about capitalism?
But I would love to hear your reasoning behind it. Yeah.
So the idea behind registration is so that you can have exclusive rights and exploit whatever it is that you've registered to benefit financially, economically, right? You would want when you start when you go register, it's like copyright, but now for more sophisticated stuff. Like when you register, for example, COVID-19, you need to know and be able to sequence COVID-19. You understand? That means you can create it. Like you need to understand it's 1, 2, 3. That's why it's COVID-19. Okay. If any other motherfucker comes here with 1, 2, 3, that is my shit.
The symptoms.
Right. So imagine they're able to teach a virus, teach something how to eat up your lungs and shit, and then that is what they infect people with. So by the time they're able to do that, of course they know how to disrupt it.
For example, do you see white? Do you sneeze out your ass? Huh? Yes. That is my virus.
How crazy is that?
Now, and
in
your,
but this Rasta is shocked. He's shook to the core.
I like to keep an open mind whenever discussing anything, and I also like to follow the rationale behind it. Okay. So now, for example, someone patents a virus, then wants to. How do they get how do they monetize, or how do they benefit?
Well, it's because then if someone says to have come up with a vaccine,
just to mention, by all this is borderline what do they call it, conspiracy theories. But I'm just pointing out
before this virus came out, there were runs. Guys were doing runs in terms of meeting. It's like, how do you do a test run for a virus? But now it's not like they put the virus out there. It's a test run for a virus. How will we sit down as a board, manage it, and present it to the citizens of the world?
Wait, are you saying that happened?
Yes. There are test runs for viruses.
Okay.
Where? How?
Let's take it down. Let's take it down. Joke. Let's tone it down, Kyo, because you're assuming there's so much knowledge gap here. Let me try to break it down for the last time. So here's the thing. There was a research that was written down on how to manage a pandemic. All right. There was Event 201 that was done sometime in October, November 2019. That world leaders sat down on a round table and they discussed COVID-19.
Those things are there.
Is that before it
Before
came
it
out.
came out in
It's
November.
preparation.
November, December.
Yeah. So they sat down before COVID itself, and let's take it even way back, Duke. Way back, kidogo. You know the Rockefeller group?
Yeah.
You know it?
Yeah.
They got like PhD teachers, like people who were at the field, you know,
Yeah.
to write about a way the society should respond to a disaster like pandemic. Let's not call it pandemic, because pandemic simply means if a disease moves from one country to the next, it doesn't have to kill so many people. As long as it's moved, that's a pandemic, you know. Let's not get out of hole, yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about a crisis. So what these guys did is remember their professors and all those things. They came down with a paper and they said they presented it to the Rockefeller, and when it was presented to the public, it was in past tense, way back in 2014. All right, it was like the government of China did very well by restraining its citizens, and it managed the disease better than US, which people were opinionated and claimed their rights, who then died in large numbers until quarantine was, the squeezing on the quarantine and you know all those things.
And as the quarantine comes in, there are laws that have been passed in.
Yeah.
Wait,
take
are
away
you
freedoms?
Are you
out
saying
of the
that the
citizens.
paper was written in past tense?
Yeah.
Or they were talking about something which had already happened?
No, they presented the paper in past tense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the first time ever it was published out to the public, it was in past tense.
May I ask why?
Bro, that is why you follow the white
In a
rabbit.
company, you go and tell the director that you'll be fired.
It's okay.
You will be approached. You can be approached in these companies. We're doing a test run for COVID 2.3.5 or something like that. You're like, why?
Yeah. Okay, so wait. All
Atakuangalia,
this you're
but a
saying,
phone call. He's
all
not
this
in
you're
there.
saying,
Yeah.
is it just hearsay, or is it verifiable information?
Dude,
We already agreed and established.
it's like
that
you sit down and listen and believe everything you're told on that media box that you listen to. Yeah?
Okay, I know. For example, I know. If we're following, for example, the history of capitalism and socialism, the way the capitalist world, so to speak, won the wars was through propaganda.
No,
That is by-
It's not all the wars.
Yeah.
Mari, you're all over
Like-
the place. You're all over the place.
I'm just trying to
Okay,
brief us.
You see,
Give
the
up.
problem is, the moment you're trying to expand more on what you're saying, you jump into another thing, and you're just going deeper and deeper into that hole. Because propaganda did not exist until Hitler.
Yeah.
We agree. Till
Okay.
there. It's the same way.
It's a mainstream propaganda.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same way going to work.
Yeah.
Like 9 to 5 came after that during that same time. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's where all of those things. So when you say all wars are war through propaganda, it's not true. But it was
Oh, just to clarify, by the wars, I mean like the First, Second World War and the Cold War. And more particularly the Cold War.
Those are too
Yeah.
many things to put in together. Because the First World War, the Great War, the reasons for that is different than the Second World War.
Yeah, which I don't disagree. But what I was trying to maybe bring across is maybe take whatever we've been discussing here from a historical perspective, because the stuff, let's say you'll go to school and be taught, like for example socialism and capitalism, you'll be told this is this and this is that, and you'll be told this and this happened and it was because of this and this and this. Now for what we've been discussing so far, for example, like the issue of having manufactured diseases and them being actually should I say registered and even distributed, so to speak, that is a lot of information to take in.
Don't say it, so to
Yeah,
speak.
that's the issue. Yeah. That's the issue. Yeah?
And like there needs to be a connection between how did society get there?
Eventually, there'll
'Cause
be
this sounds
connection.
crazy.
You remember 9/11 when people found out that there were companies who were vested in its campaign? We all know what Halliburton did. We all know what Blackwater did. We all know how the current situation, even in Iraq, is right now. Okay, I get it. Saddam had all of his family members in every part of the ministry. So it makes sense to come and completely, remove the government and leave completely nothing. Not even healthcare, not even education, not even infrastructure.
Wait, so you're saying that's what happened to Iraq?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mari,
Okay.
you need
Iraq
to live
was gutted, like the way you can remove the entrails from an animal. Not in
My
life.
that is a very
What?
good analogy. It makes perfect sense. Because Mari, you see the problem why I kept saying you're skipping around too much and you're digging up too much, and there's a lot of explaining that we'll have to go into it for you to get it.
Yeah.
It's because, first of all, you need to understand the whole thing. This whole thing is about control. And that's why I'm talking, we are relating this thing. We've lost track. Juke leo wewe umekuwa wapi mazi? Ama uko ndani sana. When you moderator na tuko ndani ndani.
There's a point I want to come with after you're done.
Okay.
So there's a point.
The thing is this, it's all about control. It doubles down to even to the music. Before Michael Jackson died, for example, you love Michael Jackson, I know, so much.
Yeah.
He
He's
was
inspired a lot
saying,
of my artistry. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely not the look though. He was talking about control, how African artists have been used for generations. It's time that they got paid what they deserve, He was talking about this kind of things. But now, people who are politically interested who are jumping on the idea because, you want the one to relate with him and tell him, it's like if he came to Kenya, and said, we need to make good of the historical injustices. It's about time, those silly things. But then, when you look even at our system, it's about control. Unaambiwa vaa mask, uvae mask. Usiulize maswali, ingia kwa nyumba, unaingia kwa nyumba. And then, itafika time, my fear is, to come a time, where they tell you your father is infected. Stay away, and they take him away.
Hata itafika time if you want to buy something, you cannot buy it until you get a certain vaccination. Which is fucked up, because now let's look at the current situation. Tumesema we found out that apparently Trump has COVID-19. Apparently Trump and his wife has COVID-19. As the elections are coming through. This is very, very strange for this to just happen right now. Trump, how many other presidents are there out there?
So many, man.
Okay, and
right next to elections. You're not going to sit down and say, acheni mchezo nyinyi.
It's even...
I do not know what the end result is, but I'm having a funny feeling is maybe to promote a vaccination. Because I'm hearing Bill Gates was saying, we would like to vaccinate the whole world. How can you vaccinate the whole world? There are people who have different blood conditions, who react different to different types of vaccines. And let's not talk about that mess that the Bill Gates Foundation did in India. They were chased out of there for having to vaccinate young girls who became sick later on. 6 months later, 5 months later. So right now we are at forced vaccination.
Shaman, it seems like you have something burning you want to bring out.
No. Mari, that's a very good scapegoat you've got now. You're I'm
going to say Mari, you haven't done your research.
I know, but
Mari did not read this week. He's been too busy for controlling. 1,500 per hour, by the way. 1,500 per hour. This is how
2 days a week.
For only 2 months maximum.
But okay. There's a lot of what you guys are saying. I've picked up bits and pieces at some point. And for example, you talked about vaccines. And I've seen stories and even research papers talking about components in vaccines that are, should I say, placed in a vaccine but are not explainable, so to speak. Let's say, for example, a vaccine is made up of this and that component, and each component has a specific purpose. Then you find some other components within the vaccine that have no, should I say, relevant explanation as to why they are placed there, but are still part of the ingredients that make up the vaccine. And there have been cases where people have been injected by vaccines and actually gotten worse, or even people who are healthy that were given vaccines.
Disabled. Vaccines that haven't been clearly tested, synthetic ones. So it's funny because what I noticed is like the Bill Gates, they're very adamant on giving it to like the poor people. They always talk, we would like to give it to Africa first. We would like to give it to the African Americans first. So me, I ask myself, why don't you give it to yourself first? Because then they're like, we would like to help, these guys who are down there. The funny thing is those even vaccines have not been prepared properly for even human consumption.
One of the things I think we need to appreciate as a people is our leadership.
Yeah.
Our leadership is poorly prepared for the scenarios that are taking place right now. I was a bit apprehensive when my nephew came to me and started telling me, watengeneza ngoma, hata mimi nataka kutengeneza ngoma kaa wewe. And I was like, man, this shit doesn't pay, man. But if I made it pay for him, it would make sense. But then, for example, I pass my knowledge right now to him. He's barely 8.
Yeah.
I teach him how to do what I'm doing at my age.
Yeah.
I've condensed so much knowledge and I've given it to him.
Yeah.
He's better enabled. It's the same way that governance should be. Wase wamekuwa kwa system, wamepitwa na wakati. That's the fact, man. Yeah. So ideas zao hata za kudishi ni za kitambo, zimepitwa na wakati. So wanadishi, wanaharibu inchi. But for them, they're not doing anything new. They're doing the same old thing, which is it's okay. It's human nature. No one is judging you,
Yeah.
But we need to leave infrastructure in place for the next generation to be able to deal with adversities of that time.
The issue is true. Now the thing of a capitalist society, maybe that is run away or in a crisis mode. Because you have a lot of people that are completely off the radar of the nationals' capacity to support them with, mental health issues, poverty issues, ulemavu, things like that.
Now that we've brought that up,
like for Kenya, something like that is built. We want to build a kind of like a committee that will take care of mental issues and will take care of the lemavu. And then 3 months later, you hear there's been some embezzling, of funds of this committee.
That is why, Mari, you need to talk about now.
So I wanted to find the right moment to ask this. So in all these issues that we are pointing out, does that imply, is it a problem with the people or is it a problem with the structure in place?
It's the problem with education. The problem is with education, because if everyone was informed, if Juke, the last time you were caught up by the police because you didn't wear your mask properly. Funny story. When I was coming from the village, Juicy too, I'm pulled up and they tell me,
by the cops.
License. I give out, it's routine. I give out my license. He looks at my license, comes over and looks at the insurance. And then he asks me, he looks at my driving license like, Shaman Wagwan. No, of course it's not Shaman Wagwan. And then
he's looking for excuse.
You've been caught doing 112 in a highway for 100.
Yo, me on Billy, a boss man.
ingisha hapo ndani
hiyo 1500
tukuandikia cash bail. I'm like, hey man, I really don't have time for this shit. Let's just go in. Unandikie whatever it is, I'll pay. I'm out to nego tusikie. So I get in there, and this guy walks with my license so fast. I have to chase him from behind. You know, that is psychological already. You know, you're chasing him, and I understood the gesture. So I even slowed down.
Okay.
I slowed down. So when he got there, he had to wait for me. And then to introduce me, to hand me over to the next guy. So I know the game. So I was playing the game.
Okay.
So I get there, and he already had some clients in there. I say clients because we're clients.
Barefooted clients.
No. All dressed up. That's what I negotiate. I negotiate the cash bill itakuwa ngapi. So I get there, that it was a guy and a chick. You can tell they've been up to no good. But anyway, it's none of our business. Sasa, I get there, the police anaangalia wanasema, "Hata hujavaa mask." Nikamwambia, nani, wacha kwa ridiculous bwana. Mimi siwezi vaa mask kwa sababu hata niko na asthma. Nikivaa nikufe, hiyo ni story nyingine. Fanya hivi. Malizana na hawa, mimi nisimama hapa nje. To keep distance, at least tupatane katikati. You know, like, unasema ridiculous kwa sababu ni police station. Nikamwambia malizana na watu ongee. It's okay. Akamalizana na hao. I have to cut that shit out. So when I go in, I stand up and ask him, "Can I please have a seat?" Unafanya kazi wapi? Ambia Nairobi. I get out my card. This is my boss, by the way, who trained me. This big up, you know who you are. He told me, like, you have 3 seconds to sell yourself to this very important guy. What do? You have your card, you give it to him. I'm like, oh, makes sense, man. So he's like, unafanya kazi wapi? Kadi shika. Maze. Wewe sasa jichape kiboko. Hey, what do you mean?
The cop tells you,
officer, jichape kiboko. What do you want to do now? In fact, I'm looking for work. Get work. Just call me. Call me. We do this work. Haraka kazi ishe. He wrote me a name at the back of my card and gave me back the card. I gave him 5 more. Told him, call me anytime. And he left me. That's the long story short. If you're informed, it's not so complicated. It is never complicated. And by the way, you always have an option to say no. Umeshika ukiwa speed? No. It's always a no. Definitely no.
You've had it there. You've had it there. That's the Gatekeepers Musically Speaking Podcast, Season 2, Episode 6. Verbal Vayne in the vicinity, Mary in a moment, and Shaman in the sector. Any last words, man?
Yo, man.
By the way, a lot of our propaganda. So
we've said we've said a lot of controversial things.
You get 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
So I think what I'll just say is that we've said a lot of controversial things here, but I think my 2 cents is if the information is verifiable, then we should, the listeners, go out there, look for that information, see what you find. On our part as well. I mean, like, some of the stuff you've said here is crazy.
Yeah. This one is not even the government that's going to come for us. This is the international community.
It's so serious.
Oh, man.
It's so serious. And I've been saying we're living in a very interesting time.
Yeah.
People are beginning to take notice. For example, when was the last time you got out and looked into the sky and saw the stars? But when was the last time you saw the stars in the sky, bro?
It's been a while.
You can't remember. You can't remember. Is that it? That's the correct answer, right?
No. One day I remember looking up at the stars while going home, but it was just like it was just like by the way, you know. Like
now, I want to challenge you to just, when you go home, even today or whatever, get out like around 11 o'clock at night or 12. Get out, look at the sky. See, maybe your time ndio watu wanapatiwanga kazi. Na unakwanga kwa nyumba. Unasema vile maisha ni ngumu. Bro, labda kuna anapeana attendance. Unajua? You might see your name appearing in the sky with an arrow pointing you to the pot of gold.
Unaambia watu watoke after curfew.
Very crazy. Ukibebwa, Wakili Junior atakam tu.
For sure.
I see what you did there.
There you have it. Maybe next time we might discuss about urban planning and mental health. Yeah, if I can give you maybe an example. There is a part in a Tokyo street where it is a dedicated bicycle path, a dedicated pedestrian path, right next to a stream of fish in the middle of the city. Yeah, I know it's very unusual for Nairobi citizens because our streams are only streams of effluence. Inaitwa effluent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aborted babies and fucked up pampas.
Yeah, that will have something to do with urban planning and mental health. What will it have to do with music? We'll find out. Because msanii ni kioo cha jamii. Yeah. And if no one else is doing the education to at least improve society, then the artist is the lone gunman in this war. So there you have it, man. The Gatekeepers Musically Speaking Podcast, GKMSP, Season 2, Episode 6, Verbal Vayne in the Vicinity, Married in a Moment, and Shaman in a Sector. Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka.